That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Sports Night. I'm Jamarcus Fitzpatrick alongside Nicole Hutchison and Corey Howard. For the next 30 minutes, we need your undivided attention. Fights happen. Fights happen in practice all the time. I can think of numerous ones that I've had with my teammates. He's saying, let me go, and I don't let him go. And he swings, I swing, we back and forth, but then we dap it off. But what this does for your team is it sets a precedent saying, hey, nobody can do anything that's going to mess up our chemistry, and if you do that, you will be punished for it. So I think this is what it does. It's going to set the tone for the rest of their team. I honestly think, though, that he really wasn't all the way there. Even though he was practicing this week, he was limited from what we have heard. I don't think that they were going to use him much in the game anyway, so I think that this was a way to do damage control while also getting him healthy, because they're playing the Chargers, which I've sat down and watched some tape on these guys, and Justin Herbert is explosive when it comes to throwing the football. Their defense can get ran all over, but it is a young quarterback that you're going against. So this is a game that you could potentially win and save your star player. Tampa Bay played the Chargers last week, and what I saw is that the offensive line was extremely physical against that Chargers defense. They were able to run a lot of inside zone and power going inside, just attacking the middle of that defense, and they were able to do it. And as we know, Kamara is an explosive runner. No matter what kind of play you call for him to run, he's going to do well doing it. So I think that he's expected to have a good game. MT not being in the lineup won't hurt that bad, but I think it was a solid move for them as far as damage control to sit him out in this situation. But I got to go back to Jacob Mount talking about him too. 16 of 32, 224 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. He worked out a lot. I've been saying it a lot. QB mechanics, shout out to you guys. Really producing a great product in this guy. Last year, he's had that gunslinger mentality where he threw a lot of interceptions, but being able to come into a big-time game like this, game of the week, all eyes are on you. Everybody's watching, and to step up in a big game like this. He has another game coming up in a few weeks that I have a good feeling. I don't know. People vote on game of the week, but I got a good feeling that game is going to be game of the week. Leesville and Tioga, 2 gunslingers between Jacob Mount and that bad brother Blake McGehee. But I do have to give Jacob Mount his props on this one tonight. I have to give them to him. Not only in those 4 plays, it doesn't matter. Look, I can tell you right now, anytime as an offensive lineman that the offensive coordinator says we're going to run the ball, that is when the offensive linemen are supposed to put their hands in the ground and say, lean on us, because that sets the tone for the rest of the offense. Yes, the quarterback is the leader of the offense, but the offensive line should be setting the tone. So when you get pushed back on that first play, you set the tone for the next 3 plays after that. And I think that's what really messed them up. But I do have to go back to what Coach O said. Coaches a lot of times do not want to take the blame, because instead of pointing the finger or instead of pointing the thumb at themselves, they want to point the finger. You have to take and say, yes, it does start with me. Yes, the players are the ones that are out there miscommunicating, all of that good stuff, but it does start with coaching, and I have to agree with that. But I also have to talk about one of these main points that happened in the game. Not saying that this was a determining factor, but I think if this play would have went the other way, LSU could have been looking differently. So Cordell Flats punched the ball out, and LSU recovered the ball. They never gave it to him. I don't understand why they didn't. Missouri kicks a field goal, ties the game up at 24. You come out of halftime, you score a touchdown, you go up 31-24. If they get that ball, there's no doubt about it that they would have scored a touchdown. I got to give credit to Missouri too. I mean, you come in and you light them up like that. They came out aggressive. One of those drives, they faked a punt even though they did not convert on it, but you set the tone. It's plays like that, momentum-shifting plays, to potentially set the tone for the rest of the game, the outlook of the game. And I think they did that.